Hi, I'm Aneurin Barnard from Spring Awakening. Welcome to musicalworld.tv.
Hello, I'm Iwan and welcome to musicalworld.tv.
Terwijl we aan het bekomen zijn van Spring Awakening, net gezien, staan we hier te wachten voor de rehearsal room. Want musicalworld.tv mag de twee hoofdrollen spreken. Namelijk de jongens die Melchior en Moritz spelen. En onthoud, dit zie je alleen maar bij musicalworld.tv. Who is Aneurin Barnard?
Who is he indeed? Well, Aneurin Barnard, playing Melchior at the moment in Spring Awakening. I'm a Welsh guy, well, Welsh boy. I'm 21. I come from deep within the Welsh mountains, and I've been training in drama school for 3 years, and I've just come out and landed the role in this show.
I'm 23 years old and I'm from Cardiff in South Wales.
And now you're here in London?
Yeah, in the Lyric, yeah, which is really cool. And yeah, we've got a few weeks left in the Lyric, Hammersmith, and then we're going to be moving to the West End to the Novello Theatre.
Who is Melchior Gabor?
Melchior Gabor, well, he's an inspirational young man in the world that he's living in. He's very intelligent, he's very unique, and he's very different to all his friends around him. He's very intellectual, he knows exactly what he's doing, and he's very keen to experience life, but a little bit too keen as he gets mixed up within different problems that life can bring along, and through him questioning society, culture, religion, and kind of different awakenings within life, like sexual awakening, he gets himself into trouble, and he has to deal with a lot of different problems.
I play the troubled Moritz, who is he's having difficulties with his adolescence.
What kind of difficulties?
He's finding it difficult in school to keep up with his work, and because he's reaching puberty, nobody's really talking to him about the way his body's changing and these thoughts that he's getting, and he thinks he's evil, yeah. So he goes to his friend for help, but it all goes horribly wrong.
How close is the Melchior character to yours?
I'm pretty similar. I'm like me. I've always questioned things from a young age, of trying to find out new answers for different things, or an explanation of why things happen and what turns people in different directions in life. So that similarity with Melchior I have quite strongly, and I was a bit of a rebel when I was a child, so I have that rebel streak in me, which Melchior does as well. So breaking rules.
And it made you into this person.
Yes, yeah, and this is where I am now.
Headlining Spring Awakening.
I suppose there's probably some elements of Moritz in me, but
like?
Well, I don't know. He's quite stressed, but I think I think I'm quite different to my character in normal everyday life.
When did you first hear about Spring Awakening?
I heard around about 2 years ago, when I saw a link on the internet for auditions for the new London kind of production of the show, and then the link took me straight to the Broadway kind of videos, and kind of Jonathan Groff playing Melchior and Liam Michelle playing Vandler. So that was the first time I saw it, and so I watched the videos and then fell in love with it straight away. And
why did you fall in love with it straight away?
Well, at first it was just the music really what got my attention, and then I realised that it was a play originally, and so I read the play, and then the text I fell in love with, and the story and the plot.
I first heard about Spring Awakening over a year ago now, when we first started auditioning in about October of 2007.
Mm-hmm. And what did you hear about Spring Awakening?
Well, I heard of its success over in Broadway, and how it was a very exciting project, and I heard that it was coming over here, so I started auditioning. Then I started learning more and more as I got further along the auditioning process.
The world that these young people were living in is so similar to what's going on at the moment and hasn't changed from years on, from 1892, 1893, 94, whatever. Things have not changed that much, and to see that, I fell in love with the fact that the reality of it and the truth and the way that it can be conveyed on stage for people to see, I thought it was quite special.
I think that the themes in the show are very relevant to today's children, even though it's set in 1891, but with things like suicide and abortion and teenage pregnancy and abuse in school and in the home. So it's very serious issues which are being addressed, and it's great that it's coming through this musical.
And well, back in 1891, times were kind of horrible for kids.
Yeah.
Now times have improved.
Yeah.
But are there still lessons to be learned from?
Yeah, I mean, I think there is. It's I mean, there's lessons. I think from the adult's point of view, of how you need to be open with your kids, and you need to educate them so that they know about the things that are going to be happening to them, so they don't feel that they're on their own dealing with, you know, depression and just going through puberty and things like that. And I think that's the main lesson you can learn that you learn from it.
One thing that the show kind of conveys is that we're human. We make mistakes, problems happen, and unfortunately sometimes instincts kick in the wrong sense. You know, sometimes for the good, but also for bad. But with every cloud there's a silver lining, and we have to be optimistic of life and the world, and try to see or find a goal for ourselves and for others, and not to sound all kind of mushy about it and all lovey about it, but it's true. You know, I think we all have a purpose, and that's why we're here, and we should make the most of it.
The music is it's very modern kind of rock. I mean, the idea is that the music brings the characters out of the world of the sort of Victorian era, and it brings them. It's sort of like the inner thoughts and emotions of the characters that they can't express within the scenes, and they can do that through the music. And it's very modern kind of rock. There's different genres, but Morris predominantly is quite rock. It's quite like sort of punk rock kind of feel to it.
Wow. There's many ways to describe it, because there's so many different genres of music within the score. You know, you have classical, you have rock, you have punk, you have indie, you have pop. It's mesmerizing. I get trapped and listen to it. You know, it really takes me away from, you know, this world, but also connects me in a very strange way. The music is endless with its kind of dynamic. You know, there's so many different beautiful songs within the show, which, you know, not talking about the lyrics, just talking about the score, it constantly changes. You know, obviously it's got its little style as well, but it's something that you don't just turn on the radio and hear every day. It's quite different and quite unique and special.
In those 23 years of your life, have you been doing musical during that time?
Not really. This is my first musical. I trained as an actor in Lambda in London, the London Academy. Yeah, but this is the first musical I've done, so it's quite interesting, but it's different, but it's good.
But for a musical, you must be able to sing.
Yes.
Were you trained to be a singer?
No. No, I was. I've always sung in sort of in bands and stuff like that. But luckily, because of the nature of this musical, is quite rock. So especially my character. So kind of fits in well.
I've always sung from a young age, and I did start singing before I acted. But then I decided to kind of have more focus on my acting career. But I've always sung. It's always been a passion of mine. I've always loved doing it, and so yeah, I have been a singer for most of my life.